Hello North Country basketball fans, and welcome to the campus of Plattsburgh State for this regional championship game between Hoosick Falls and the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton. The Cougars are playing here.
It's Hoosick Valley.
Hoosick Valley. Hoosick Valley. Hoosick Falls. There's a Hoosick Falls too, right, Calvin?
I guess so.
Somewhere.
There's a Niagara Falls too. But
we got that too. It's Hoosick Valley. In this regional championship game, the Cougars got here. They beat their rival, the Chiefs of Saranac, 41-9 in the sectional championship game. And this year, Section 7 had the first round bye in regional play. Hoosick Falls from Section 2, or Hoosick Valley from Section 2. And the ball goes up. Nice shot by number 15, Brooks. And we have a tie-up, so we have a jump ball called. So Northeastern Clinton had a bye, and Hoosick Valley had to beat Section 10 to get here. And for Northeastern, it's kind of like a home court. This is their third time in this basketball court here at Plattsburgh State. They are only about 18 miles south of us here up in Champlain, as you well know. And Hoosick...
I usually go north to Champlain.
You know, Cal, I just got here. The rush. The Cougars go up 2-0. They're south or north. Hoosick Valley is south. They're closer to Albany area, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it is definitely a road trip here for Hoosick Valley. The Cougars go up 2-0, and a lot is riding on this game. And there's the rebound by Brooks, and it pushes up. So the Cougars are running the court here, and fouled. It was Barcombe, and she was fouled by number 24, Rachel Moore. So it'll be Northeastern under the basket. So the winner of this game goes to the Final Four. Is it in Glens Falls this year, Calvin?
I'm trying to remember. The girls are in Troy. The girls are in Troy. The boys are in Glens Falls.
The girls where?
Girls are in Troy at Hudson Valley, and the boys are in Glens Falls.
Okay, so the girls will go to Hudson Valley. The winner of this game will. And it was number 22, Allie Cartier, was called for the travel on a nice feed. Cougars are still up 2-0 with 6:35 to go here in the first quarter. We have a very nice crowd here for this championship game, regional championship game. Shot goes up, and the ball is rebounded by the Cougars, number 4, and that would have been Dominique getting it over to Carter, and Carter quickly gets it over to Guerin. And good ball movement here by the Cougars, looking for that extra pass, and it is a man-to-man defense here by the Hoosick Valley girls here, and it's into the hands of Barcombe. She gives it back up over to Katrina Guerin. Guerin surveying the situation, 10 on the shot clock. She goes down low to Cartier. Ball moved out, Barcombe squares up, and it's a two-pointer for the Cougars. They go up 4-0, and Hoosick Valley will bring the ball up. Their coach is given the instructions to the point guard, number 15, Kugler. Kugler with the ball, gives up her dribble. She gives the ball up over to Moore. Moore goes to the right side of the basket. She gives it up over to Chapko. Shot goes up, rebounded by Hoosick Valley. And a nice solid rebound by Jessica Lano. Takes the ball up off the glass, and it's now a 4-2 game. I'm Joey Trombley. I'm calling the action here, the play-by-play. Calvin Castine, the father of Hometown Cable, is on the camera. And the voice of the Cougars, Joe Southwick, is in the house today, but he's down below, and he's taking care of the book here for Coach Dave Lambert, as he's done all season. And Joe will be back up here for the boys' regional championship game for Potsdam and Northeastern Clinton. And Joe, Calvin, is multi-talented at Plattsburgh State. He'll be the PA announcer sometimes for the men's basketball program and the girls basketball program. He does book for Joe, for Dave Lambert. He calls games for you, and he's a telecommunication genius. So it's the multi-talented Joe Southwick down at the books right now. And you'll have him back for the men's game. And right now it's 4:57 to go here in the first quarter. 4-2 Cougars. Guerin with the ball. She sends it back up over to Dominique. Guerin looking to penetrate. She's at the top of the key. Goes left side to Brooks. Brooks will take the three-pointer. And Chelsea Brooks nails a three-pointer. And the Cougar fans enjoy that one. And the Cougars go up 7-2 with 4:39 to go.
Before we get too far along, it's Dominic, not Dominique. Number 4 for the Cougars. Oh, they spelled it wrong in the program.
Thank you. So thank you for giving me a reprieve on that, Calvin. I'm reading what's on the program here. But it's Dominic?
Dominic.
So I can see where the confusion between an I and a C would have taken place. And number 33, Jessica Lano, has the only points for Hoosick Valley. She's a strong force underneath, rebounding-wise, and she gets those layups, those rebounds for layups, and has done a nice job for Hoosick Valley. Ball's into Barcomb's hand. She's looking to penetrate, and there's a foul. So good penetration by Barcombe as she's fouled by Alicia Lewis, and it will be underneath the Hoosick Valley basket. Will be the Cougar ball. Coming in here for Hoosick Valley is Whitney Kugler, and coming out of the game is Alicia Lewis. And you have Chelsea Brooks taking the ball out under the Hoosick Valley basket, goes underneath, and Brooks has the ball, pushes it back, and it turns it over, and on the run here is Hoosick Valley. Fast break, and number 15, Whitney Kugler, who just checked into the game, makes her presence known with a quick bucket on the fast break. Cougars up by 1 with 3:42 to go here in the first quarter. It's been an exciting game here for this regional championship game here at the Field House in Plattsburgh State. And it's back out, the shot up, and nothing but net for Barcombe. Rachel Barcombe nails nothing but net. The Cougars go back up by 3, and it's a big day for sports here, Calvin. After this game, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, the Cougars, Northeastern Cougar boys, are in the regional championship game against Potsdam, who I hear has a wonderful team. And Hoosick Valley just ties this game as we're talking here with a 3-pointer, and we're now tied at 9. And then, of course, at 7 o'clock tonight, just across the way, Plattsburgh State will play Norwich University in the quarterfinal action for NCAA action, and the winner of that will go to the Final Four out in Minnesota. So a lot going on here at the Field House here on the 12th day of March 2011. It's Katrina Guerin. Shot clock going down, gets the shot off. She hits the rim off the backboard in for 3. And Katrina Guerin gets the bounce. Cougars go back up by 3 with 2:34 to go here in the first quarter. Ball in the hands of Kugler. Kugler at the top of the key gives the ball back up over to Chapko. And the ball is now into the hands of Moore. Shot up, and it is number 33, Jessica Lano, with a nice baseline jumper. Brings Hoosick Valley back to within run. It is Barcombe with the ball. Gives it up over to Guerin. Guerin slowing things up. Loses her dribble. Goes back over to number 15, and that would be Brooks. Brooks underneath, and it's taken away by Lano. She gets the ball up over to Chapko. Chapko looking to drive, and good defense here by Guerin. She goes baseline, and nice stutter step by Chapko, goes baseline, and Hoosick Valley now goes up by 1. And as we know, Calvin, it's a game of runs. It's been going back and forth. We had a couple lead changes so far here in the first quarter, and I guess you'd expect nothing less for a regional championship game between two powerhouses that we're seeing here today. Inside, nice pass, and nice play by Ali Cartier, and the Cougars now go back up by 1.
Well, when you talk about runs, what you hope is that the other side doesn't get 2 runs in a row on you.
Yeah, because that can definitely put you into a major deficit and takes a lot of time to come back. But you see it happen in basketball. Last night in the Big East tournament, Notre Dame was up by 19 over Louisville, end up losing that game. So if you got a lot of time on the clock, there is chances to come back and win the game. And right now we only have a 1-point game, and nothing indicates it will get much different than this. At least what the first 7 minutes have shown us here in the first quarter. And it is Brooks with the ball, gets it up over to Grimshaw, who's checked into the game. And it's Cartier looking to go baseline, gives up the dribble, back up over to Dominic. Dominic pushes it back to Brooks. 10 on the shot clock. Turns it over. Nice hustle by Guerin. And the ball stays in. Nice play. Oh, nice pass work here by Hoosick Valley. Shot up, missed. And we have a foul on the ground. And the call, it looks like it was called on Bianca Grimshaw with 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. But it was a great effort on the ground by Whitney Kugler to keep the ball from going out of bounds, keep that play alive. They had an open look. They missed the open look. Foul call. Now they get another shot. And the rebound goes into the hands of Brooks. Brooks looking to run the court here. She crosses midcourt and gives it up over to Guerin. Guerin is the top scorer here for the Cougars. She's been kept at bay, at least offensively, here in the first quarter. And it's Grimshaw with the ball into the hands of Dominic. Dominic tried to get it all the way over to Guerin, and it's a loose ball picked up here by Hoosick Valley. They're running the court now. They're a good running team, and then that's the second time. Nice play by number 4 for them. That would have been Dominic. And travel called on Brooks. And the referees, Calvin, will say that right now.
Yeah. Jamie Labarge catching a little bit of heat right there. Certainly looked like a trip from up here, and he's a soccer ref, so he ought to know about tripping. So, Jamie is 5 feet away, so we'll trust his judgment.
That'd be a travel.
We've also got Steve Stahl.
Just made that call.
And Randy Lozier.
We have a very seasoned referee group out there, a trio. They're well seasoned, and they are very good referees.
Oh yeah.
And time coming down. Guerin getting a shot off. And the first quarter comes to an end. And the Cougars leading Hoosick Valley in an exciting first quarter, 14-13. And we're starting the second quarter here. The Cougars win the first quarter by 1, 14-13. And the ball goes into the hands of Kugler. Kugler being guarded by Katrina Guerin. And both teams like to play man-to-man. And Dave Lambert in the Press Republican interview today said he was really looking forward to that. And rebound by Dominic. Gets it into Katrina Guerin. Guerin looking to run the court, but there's 4 Hoosick Valley girls there. Gives it up over to number 22, Cartier. And it is Barcombe with the shot, doesn't fall, and it goes into the hands of Lewis. Lewis running the court here for Hoosick Valley. It sounds like you have a mirror image of both teams here today. And it is Kugler with the ball. She gives it up right side over to Anderson. Anderson into the game, gives up her dribble, goes back over to Lewis. Lewis goes baseline. There's a wild quick shot by Kugler, and it goes out of bounds, so the Cougars will get the ball. Checking back in is Sullivan.
At this point in the game, Joey, there's 1 foul on the Cougars, 2 fouls on Hoosick Valley, and that's what usually happens when you get to this level of competition. The refs let them play.
And there really hasn't been a lot of fouls out there that I've seen. I just think you have 2 talented teams out there that don't foul a lot. But you take that with, they let them a little bit more get away with some stuff, and you do have it down. So we may not see a one-on-one situation here in the first half. And it is Guerin, and that would be a travel on Grimshaw. So turnover Cougars, and they got Barcombe back into the game, or Brooks. Brooks comes back into the game, and you have Grimshaw coming out. And it is Hoosick Falls. Leno had a very good first quarter here for Hoosick Valley. And ball knocked away by Barcombe. Picked up by Brooks. And nice play by Brooks. She'll slow the play up with 6:22 to go here in the second quarter. And Brooks goes left side over to Dominic. It goes baseline into the hands of... And there's the bucket. And another 3-pointer, and the Cougars go up by 4. And timeout called by Walter Dorman. Cougars up by 4. And we're back from the timeout. And it is Chapko taking it up here for Hoosick Valley. She goes over to Leno. Leno comes to the near side here over to Anderson. Into the hands of Sullivan, and Sullivan called for the travel. She had the little stutter step, and Lozier was all over that one. And with 5:55 to go here in the second quarter, the Cougars have a 4-point lead. They're looking to build on that. Brooks with the ball, crossing midcourt. Gives it up over to Dragoon. Dragoon to Brooks. Brooks left side to Dominic, who nailed the last 3-pointer. Comes back over to Brooks. Brooks trying to look inside, finds Barcombe outside the 3-point line. She gives it back to Brooks, 11 on the shot clock. Into the hands of Katrina Guerin. And a wild shot by Guerin, and a little frustration on Guerin there, Calvin, I think, because they're doing a good job defensively on it.
Yeah, but she's got to realize, of course, the shot clock was ticking down, and that kind of puts you in a panic mode, but you got to realize if they're being double teamed, somebody is not being teamed.
Well, it's a lot of game, and when you get a good scorer like Katrina Guerin, nice pass underneath, and nice finish by number 4, Chapco. When you get an all-around player like Katrina Guerin, it's a 4-quarter game. Your moments will come, and it's not to panic. You will get your opportunities. And it's Dominic getting the ball over to Barcombe. Barcombe looking to penetrate from the foul line. Nice rotation by Barcombe. Beautiful rotation by Rachel Barcombe. And the Cougars go back up by 4. And it is Chapco with the ball. She gets it up over to Anderson. Anderson over to Moore. So good rotation here by Hoosick Valley. Shot goes up, and it's rebounded by Guerin. And Guerin and Anderson are fighting for that ball, but Guerin wanted it more. She came away with it, and she gives it up over to Brooks. Brooks is all over. Dominic's wide open. Good look for Dominic, and she hits the rim. And nice rebound by Barcombe. Good job by Barcombe over to Katrina Guerin. And the Cougar faithful enjoy that effort by Barcombe. And here comes a fast break. It's number 4, Chapco. And nice hustle by Barcombe. Boy, she is making herself known on this court here, those offensive and defensively. Katrina Guerin gets no foul called. She was looking for it, and it was Leno was there. She'll give it up to the guard. And it is Chapco taking the ball up here for Hoosick Valley. She gives it up over to Anderson. And a foul on Barcombe. The Barcombes had a wonderful 90 seconds out there, Calvin.
Yeah, Hoosick Valley was looking for an over-the-back call, and she got that rebound.
I didn't see it, though. I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see the contact there. I think she was just stretching and getting that ball.
And you have Anderson coming out of the game, and the ball is into the hands of Kugler. Kugler gets it up over to Sullivan. Sullivan passes it back to Leno. Leno with the shot, and it's rebounded by the Cougars, number 22, Cartier. Gives it up to Brooks. Brooks over to Katrina Guerin. Guerin back to Brooks. Nice give and go. And that's Cougar basketball, folks. You take the court out, give the extra pass, give and go. Nice finish by Brooks.
Cougars have executed that a lot of times this year with Brooks, Guerin, or Barcombe on the receiving end of that.
Well, that is vintage Cougar basketball in that last offensive run. And the ball is into Dominic, or not Dominic's hand, but that would have been Chapco. She sends it into Kugler. She gets a shot up, and nice rebound by Dragoon. Gives it up over to Guerin. Guerin to Brooks, back to Guerin. So we cross midcourt with 2:55 to go. Cougars with a 6-point lead, and that slaps off of Leno's hands. So the Cougars have a chance to extend a 6-point lead to an 8-point lead here in the second quarter. And it is Brooks, Chelsea Brooks for the Cougars. Gets it over to Guerin, back to Brooks. Brooks quickly three-pointer, hits the rim, and fouled by Barcombe. And that was as a coach, you hate to see that happen back on the defensive end, a collision like that. I mean, Barcombe didn't do it on purpose, but it's a foul you hate to give up like that on that end of the court.
And she is foul prone, so that's 2 on her, I think.
And we have a timeout with 2:46 to go here in the second. Cougars up by 6, 21-15. And we're back from the timeout. 2:46 to go here in the second quarter. And Chapco or Lewis will take it up here for the Hoosick Valley. And there's the drive by number 10, doesn't drop, and that would have been Sullivan, rebounded by Brooks, and Brooks will take it up here for the Cougars. Cougars with a 6-point lead. Ball into Katrina Guerin's hands. Guerin, and number 24, Moore's done a good job guarding Guerin here the first half. She gives it up over to Barcombe, back to Guerin, into Dragoon's hands, down low to Katrina Guerin, and it's out of bounds, and Guerin tried to get the ball over to Cartier coming in on the weak side, but it was knocked out of bounds. So it'll be Brooks taking the ball out underneath Hoosick Valley basket.
Good communication there where they talked to each other on defense, and all of a sudden Guerin had a lot of company.
And Barcombe gives it up to Brooks. Shot clock coming down. And there's a wild shot by number 5, Guerin. And and it did not hit the rim. A little conversation down
I think
there.
he's looking for a foul and the shot clock went off.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
And Randy Lozier explained it to him, and the coach seemed to accept the explanation. And it is Moore with the ball, giving it up over to Sullivan. Sullivan looking to drive, goes back out. And there was a shot by Chapko, nothing but air, so the Cougars get the rebound.
I suppose we should explain to the casual viewer that even though there was a shot, it didn't hit the rim, so it's not a shot until it hits the rim.
It hits the rim, that's correct.
So the shot clock keeps on ticking.
Ball knocked away, it will go to the Cougars, but there's that give and go. It was Guerin trying to find Brooks in the paint, and it was knocked away by the defense of Hoosick Valley. And it will be Brooks taking the ball out here for the Cougars. She gets it over to Guerin, back to Brooks. And one thing I've noticed about the Cougars, Calvin, they play a very unselfish brand of basketball. And Guerin finally gets a shot off, and she's fouled by number 24, Rachel Moore, who's done a stellar job guarding her in the first half here. And Guerin will go to the line for two, but the Cougars are very an unselfish team out there.
Well, they don't care. The only score they care about is the one that's on the scoreboard.
It's very nice to see, and well, that would probably explain why they're here today. They do play team basketball very well.
Oh yeah. Yep. Guerin might only have that long three-pointer that she made for points right now.
She makes that one. So the Cougar lead has been increased to 7 with 1:21 to go. Defensively, they've shut down Hoosick Valley for the last 4 or 5 minutes. And it is number 15, Kugler, with the ball, calling the play. Cougars in a man-to-man defense. And Brooks got hurt on the play. We have a jump ball. And I'm not quite sure. I think Brooks kind of, it's almost like an awkward play, tripped. And I think she got hit in the head as she was going down with either the elbow or the ball. She's a tough player out there, and she has no intention of coming out.
Unless she has to.
Exactly. And it is Brooks taking the ball up. Gives up her dribble. And the Cougars wanted a foul, and Hoosick Valley wanted to travel. And nice hustle by number 22, Cartier, to go at Lano to tie up that ball. The arrow favors Hoosick Valley, but now the next arrow will favor the Cougars. So a nice hard play by number 20. What number is she?
22.
22, Ali Cartier. And Hoosick Valley, 16 on the shot clock, 29 on the game clock, will have to get a shot off. And Lano gets the shot off, doesn't drop, rebounded by the Cougars. And it's Guerin with the ball, 20 seconds in the game, gives it up over to Barcombe. Barcombe, and there's a push on number 10, Sullivan. And Calvin, you're right, there's only been 7 calls called in the whole first half. Total fouls called, 4 on Hoosick Valley, 3 on the Cougars.
So they're letting them play.
And it is Barcombe. Brooks getting the ball into Cartier, into Barcombe's hands, over to Dominic. 9 on the shot clock, down low, beautiful pass, baseline. Cartier gets the good look. It was a nice feed by Guerin, and there's a shot at the buzzer. And the first half comes to an end, and the Cougars from Section 7, 22, Hoosick Valley from Section 2, 15. And we're ready to start the third quarter. The Cougars will take the ball out here. They have a 7-point lead, and it is Brooks with the ball. She's being guarded by Kugler, and it's tight man-to-man defense here early here for the Hoosick Valley Indians. And it's Barcombe with the ball, picked by Dominic. Nice play by Barcombe, a switch, gets the shot off, and there's a rebound blocked from behind. Cartier was blocked from behind, and it goes into the hands of Chapko. Chapko crosses midcourt here for the Indians, and there's the drive. by number 10, and it's rebounded by Leno, and Leno's fouled going up. It was a nice drive by Taylor Sullivan, and Leno's been a force underneath the basket here for Hoosick Valley, with I think 6 points in the first half, and she'll go to the line for 2. And that's the first time in the game, we're in the third quarter, that Hoosick Valley will be going to the line. And Leno gets a quick shot off, hits the front of the rim.
The program here just says regional finals, but I know back when my daughter was playing, it was always known as the Capital District Regional.
Who knows why it changes through the years, but it was Leno making one, and Leno goes on the ground. And Guerin looks like she's hurt her shoulder on that. She was trying to wrestle the ball away from Leno, and Leno won that battle. And Hoosick Valley has scored the first points of the second half. It's been a free throw by Jessica Leno, and it's the Indians with the ball here. And it's number 15, Kugler, getting the ball over to Moore. And there's the shot, hits the front of the rim. Leno with the rebound, pushes it back out into the hands of Kugler. Kugler will slow things up. She goes left side, gives it up over to Chapko. Chapko down low to Leno. And Leno fouled. And you can see the strategy of Coach Dorman is get it low to Leno. And it's paying off here early in the third quarter, Calvin.
Yeah, one thing the Cougars don't have is a lot of size. And they start doing this, Cougars could be in trouble. But Leno has to hit a few foul shots too.
Well, yeah, right now she's shooting like the Shack right now from the foul line. She's 1 for 3. Make that 1 for 4. And rebounded by Brooks. Cougars looking to run the court. So strategy-wise, the Cougars need to run the floor. They need to tire out Leno. And then as far as Hoosick, and there's a shot by Barkham. Nice rebound by Katrina Guerin. Heads up play by Guerin. Nobody there to box her out. And the Cougars go back up by 8. And of course, we've seen the strategy here by the Indians. Get it low to Leno. And there's a nice drive by number 15, Kugler. And it goes off the Cougars. Cougars are fighting amongst themselves for that rebound. And it goes out of bounds, so it will be the Hoosick Valley Indians ball underneath the Cougar basket as they trail by 8. And the ball comes in, and it's stolen by Guerin. The Cougars have the numbers. Guerin and Dominic. Over to Dominic. Dominic squares, and it's partially blocked. Taken by Guerin. Over to Barcombe. Barcombe misses it. Rebounded by Dominic. Dominic gets the ball. 16 on the shot clock. Barcombe goes near side over to Guerin. Down low to Barcombe. Barcombe gives it up over to Dominic. It's knocked away to Leno. Leno gives it up over to Sullivan. Sullivan to number 24, Moore. And we have a jump ball called, and Lozier says arrow favors Cougars, and the Indians of Hoosick Falls don't like that call. The Cougar fans love that call. And I guess if you're an official, 50% love you, 50% hate you.
You're hoping for that percentage.
It's a nicely give and go. Cougar basketball down low, and a nice look from Brooks down low to Cartier, but she couldn't handle it, so it goes out of bounds. With 5:37 to go here in the third quarter, Cougars up by 8. The winner of this goes on to the Final Four next weekend in Troy. And it's number 15, Kugler with the ball, has it knocked away by Katrina Guerin. And Kugler with the ball beyond the 3, now looking to penetrate. She drives, gets a shot off. Nice rebound by number 10. And a nice play by Cartier, not giving up on that ball. And a jump ball called by Lozier. And the arrow favors the Indians. And coming into the game is Kayla Dragoon. Coming out of the game is Rachel Barcombe for the Cougars. And it's Kugler with the ball for the Indians. Quickly gets it to Chapka. She gets a quick 3 off. Over the back, no call. And we have a jump ball. Stalls there. And the arrow now favors the Cougars. And it will be Brooks getting the ball over to Guerin. With 5:10 to go here in the third quarter. Cougars up by 8. And it's Dominic with the ball. 4, Garden 4, into the hands of Guerin. Guerin at the 3, looking to penetrate. And she'll be called for the travel. It's a good double team by Hoosick Valley. And again, number 24 has done a wonderful job, Rachel Moore, guarding Katrina Guerin. And it is Kugler taking the ball up here for the Indians. Goes down low, and it goes off the hands of Rachel Moore with 4:41 to go.
We're 3 minutes and 19 seconds into the second half. A lot has been happening on the floor, but only 2 points for the Cougars and 1 point for the Indians thus far in the second half.
Yeah, it's been somewhat of a defensive gem, a little bit of cold shooting on both teams. And Dragoon gets it up over to Guerin. Guerin over to Dominic. Back to Guerin. And they're looking to double team over to Dominic. Blocked by Leno. And after the block, Leno pushes Dominic down. I think that's her 3rd foul, Calvin. And it'll be underneath the basket. And Brooks will take it out for the Cougars underneath the Indian basket. Out to Dominic. Goes low trying to find Guerin. Stolen away by Moore. And there's a fast break basket here potentially. And nice fast break basketball here by the Indians. And Sullivan finishes the play. And Coach Lambert wants a 30-second timeout with 4:05 to go. Cougars by 6, 24-18. And we're back from the timeout. And it's Guerin with the ball. Over to Brooks. Back to Guerin. And Leno's there. No travel called. And the Cougars wanted a foul. Hoosick Falls wanted a travel.
See, that's when the refs have nobody happy with them.
And the 3rd foul on Moore. Dominic. And nice save by Guerin from saving it going over the half-court line. Back over to Dominic. Dominic looking to drive baseline. Gets the shot off. Rebounded by Dragoon. And a foul on number 15, I think. No, they say number 10. It was Sullivan. Third foul here, team 3rd. Brooks back over to Dominic, quickly to Brooks, quick 3-pointer, and Chelsea Brooks, nothing but net. Quick release, Calvin, quick release.
If that wasn't 90 degrees, you would have called it a deflection instead of a shot.
My, what a quick release by Chelsea Brooks. Cougars up by 9. Shot up by the Indians, rebounded by Brooks. Brooks looking to run the court. Pushes it up over to Guerin, down low to Cartier. She gets the shot off, but it doesn't drop. And the call goes in the Indians' favor. And coming into the game here for the Hoosick Valley Indians is Anderson. And it's Chapko giving it up over to Sullivan. Sullivan over to Moore. To Chapko. Leno pushes it back, and it's into the hands of Guerin. Pushes it up over to Brooks. Nice save by Dominic. Into the hands of Guerin. Back over to Dominic. Dominic looking to penetrate. Pushes it back. Leno was a force there, and Dominic tried to throw it back. And a turnover by the Cougars with 2:22 to go. And Brooks had the steal, and Chapko kind of grabbed her, but none of the 3 refs saw that, Calvin. She had momentum, then she got jerked back, and they didn't see it.
I think whatever you saw, Dave Lambert saw too.
Yeah, he's kind of furious down low. And they're battling for that ball down there. And the arrow favors, was no arrow, it was out on the Cougars. So Coach Dorman calls a timeout. With 2:10 to go, Cougars up by 9, 27-18. And we're back from the timeout. It's Hoosick Valley with the ball, and it's number 24 Moore. Gets it up over to Sullivan. Going baseline, and she stepped on the end line, and it was Anderson trying to get the shot off. Steps on the end line, turns it over, and we have exactly 2:01 to go here in the third. And Guerin will take the ball up for the Cougars, gets it over to Brooks. Brooks back to Guerin. Guerin over to Dominic, back to Guerin. Brooks with the shot, hits the back of the rim. Nice hustle by Katrina Guerin. Nice, solid offensive rebound. Pushes it back to Dominic. Back over to Guerin, 23 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Over to Brooks. All the way over to Dominic. Back to Brooks, 10 on the shot clock. In and out by Brooks, rebounded by Cartier, new shot clock. Going baseline. And there's no foul. Dominic was floored out of bounds. And it's a very physical game out there. And I don't know how they missed that one, Calvin. I love these officials. They do a good job overall, but wow.
Steve Stahl was 10 feet away, and he didn't see it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And the first one's missed. And as we know, Calvin, our thoughts don't matter up here. It matters with the guys with the whistle down below.
And it doesn't matter how many fans there are that disagree with you either.
Exactly. And misses 2 free throws. And it is Brooks with the ball. So the Cougars defensively have held them to 3 points here in the third quarter. And Dragoon going baseline. Pushes it back. And it is Guerin back to Dragoon. Over to Guerin. Guerin driving. On the ground. Bolger says before the shot got off. So that's the 4th foul for the Indians here in the second half.
Well, it's picked up. There's a total of 7, and that's the total we had for the entire first half.
And that's not uncommon in a championship game in the second half to see the intensity picked up, which we have definitely seen here in the third quarter. Brooks pushing it back over to Dominic. Dominic goes right side to Dragoon. Good stiff man-to-man defense here by Hoosick Valley. Ball out to Brooks, 12-11 on the shot clock. And travel called by Stahl with 21.9 to go here in the third. The Indians, with the shot clock off, have the chance to get the last shot for the quarter, looking to take this 9-point deficit down to a 7 or 6-point deficit. And there's the shot, and there's a 3-pointer by Chapko, and they brought it down to 6. Ix Brooks. No foul called, and the third quarter has come to an end. Cougars up by 6, and the Cougars have not been able to put them away. I think they pretty much have been the better team for 3 quarters, but Hoosick Valley's been hanging around.
That's right, and things can turn very, very quickly, Joey.
As we very well know. So the third quarter comes to an end, the Cougars leading 27-21. And the arrow favor the Cougars as they lead by 6 here, starting the fourth quarter. And at midcourt, it will be Guerin taking the ball out to Brooks. Brooks back to Guerin. Guerin over to Barcombe. Back over to Dominic. Dominic penetrating. Nice penetration by number 4, Carrie Dominic. took it right through the defense and increases the lead back up to 8 with 7:41 to go.
That was a very low-scoring third quarter, Joey.
It sure was.
Just doing the math in my head, 6-5 in favor of Hoosick Valley.
And there's a three-pointer. Long rebound. And a foul called on Brooks. And the Cougar fans were upset about that because it was a foul.
Oh, yeah.
But it happened on the other end a couple times and no foul was called. All they want to say is be consistent.
Yeah.
And it's Lewis with the ball, giving it up over to Sullivan. Sullivan back out to Anderson. Anderson over to Chapko. Chapko giving it back up to Anderson. Back to Chapko. She got the foul line. She's got an open look. Off the backboard and in. Anderson. It's now 29-24, and the Hoosick Valley Indians are on their feet. The faithful are on their feet for the Indians. Barcombe with the ball. She drives, gets the shot off, and it goes into the hands of Hoosick Valley. They got the numbers on the fast break. And there's the travel on number 4, Chapko. And the Hoosick Valley Indians boo. The Cougar fans cheer. We have a wonderful atmosphere for this regional championship game, Calvin.
It's Hoosiers.
It's Hoosier basketball in New York. It's Barcombe. Loses it. And the arrow favors the Indians. And I noticed that Leno's been out of the game, and I think the coach is going with probably a team, more of a fast break team.
You may be right, but I think she'll be back before all is said and done.
Oh, I think so too. With 6:30 to go here left in the fourth, the Cougars with a 5-point lead. Winner of this going on to the Final Four in Troy next weekend. And we're back from the timeout, and the ball goes into Chapko's hands, and she gives the ball back up over to Kugler. Kugler being guarded by Guerin. Back over to Chapko. She goes left side, driving baseline. Nice play. Nice drive by number 5, Lewis. We have a 3-point game. Cougars up by 3. And over and back on Brooks. It was solid defense on number 15, Kugler.
I think it was a travel.
Travel?
Yeah, because in order to be over and back, both feet and the ball have to be across the line, and you have to bring the ball back or step it back across. I think we just slid her foot.
Well, either way, it was a turnover, and the ball is into the Indians' hands. They're down by 3, looking to tie it on this possession, or at least cut it down to a 1-point deficit. 12 on the shot clock. Ball going down low to Sullivan, and Sullivan gets a shot. Good defense by the Cougars. Excellent shot by Sullivan. It's now a 1-point game, and it's Guerin giving it up over to Brooks, and there's new life into the Indians right now. Guerin double team, back up, Dominic, and nothing but net for Carrie Dominic. Big time shot by number 4, Carrie Dominic, and the Cougars go back up by 4. The momentum was going in the way of the Indians, and Dominic quiets the crowd down with that 3. It's the Indians with the ball, looking to penetrate, pushing it back up over to Chapko. Chapko goes near side over to Kugler. Drive by Kugler, misses it, rebounded by the Cougars into the hands of Guerin. And it will be Brooks taking the ball up for the Cougars. Brooks being guarded by number 15, Coughlin, gives it up over to Guerin. Guerin back over to Barcombe. Into Barcomb's, or Brooks to Barcombe. Barcombe with the ball. She's taken down. And timeout called by Lambert. And he's calling a 30-second timeout with 4:37 to go. Cougars by 6, 32-28. 4, okay.
Hoosick complaining about the shot clock at being at 26. I'm not sure where it should be. It's going to be at 26. 26.
It's at 26. I think it was at 15 or something, you said. Nice drive by Brooks. Rebounded by number 10, Sullivan. Sullivan running the floor, giving up over to Chapko. Chapko with the ball. Being guarded by Brooks. Inside into the paint, over to Sullivan. There's a three-pointer by number 12, Anderson. Rebounded by the Cougars. Barcombe gives it up over to Guerin. 4-10. We're almost to the halfway point here in the fourth. And Dominic gets the ball. Gives it up over to Brooks. Oh, Brooks has it tipped away. Here comes the Indians. And nice play by Brooks. And boy, Calvin, Brooks lays it on the court every time I see her play.
She doesn't leave anything in the tank.
That is for sure. We're just under 4 minutes. I think their coach thinks this is a ploy by the something's wrong with the intercom system here, the PA system.
I'm just going to shut it off.
And we're back from that technical difficulty, and it's the Indians with the ball, trailing by 4. Ball comes into the hands of Lewis. Over to Anderson. Out to Chapko. Chapko gives it up to Anderson. Anderson looking to drive. She's got room. Takes it off. Misses the layup. And it goes off of the Cougars. Ball belongs to the Indians. And it's Cassidy Chapko taking the ball out here for the Indians of Hoosick Valley. All the way back into Anderson's hands. Anderson back to Chapko. NBA 3 hits the back of the rim into the hands of Brooks. And Guerin will take the ball up for the Cougars. 26 on the shot clock. Over to Brooks. Brooks to Barcombe. Barcombe trying to penetrate back to Brooks. Brooks with a shot, hits the front of the rim. Rebounded by Guerin. Back over to Brooks. New shot clock. And they're doing a good job working the shot clock in their favor. Over to Dominic. No big rush here for the Cougars offensively. They got a 4-point lead. We're approaching the 3-minute mark. Back over to Barcombe. And good defense here by Hoosick Valley. And here come the Indians. It's number 12, Anderson. Gives up her dribble, gives it up over to Chapko. Cougars into the man-to-man defense. Chapko being guarded by Brooks. Ball's into the hands of Lewis. Lewis called for the travel. Good defense by Rachel Barcombe. Lewis turned around and did a little stutter step. And turnover on the Indians with 2:44 to go here in the fourth quarter. Cougars 2 minutes and 42 seconds from going down to Troy to the Final Four, but a lot of game left here at Plattsburgh State. And the ball into the hands of Brooks. Brooks being guarded by Anderson, into the hands of Dominic. Over to Brooks, over to Dominic. Dominic over to Barcombe, 13 on the shot clock. Goes baseline, gets a shot off, doesn't go down, and it's rebounded by the Indians. And Cassidy Chapko will take it up here for Hoosick Valley. She goes down low to Anderson, back out over to number 24, Moore, back to Chapko. Chapko, good defense here by Brooks. She drives, and she's fouled, and it'll be an old-fashioned three-point opportunity here for Hoosick Valley. The call is on the Cougars. 4 fouls apiece, and Coach Lambert wants a full timeout. It's a 2-point game. Their number 1 scorer, Cassidy Chapko, going to the line for 1 with 2:07 to go. We're in for an exciting finish here at the Plattsburgh State Field House. And we're back from the timeout. And it's Chapko, and they brought Leno back in for rebounding purposes. Misses the first one. And Leno was there, but the ball comes into Katrina Guerin's hands. Over to Brooks. So we hit the 2-minute mark here left in the game. Barcombe with the ball. Good man-to-man defense here by the Indians. Up over to Dominic, over to Brooks, 14 on the shot clock. Into Katrina Guerin's hands. Looking to penetrate, nothing there. Anytime she has the ball, they double team her. Brooks with the three, top of the rim. And it goes off of the Cougars. And the Indians will get the ball, so we'll get an offensive opportunity with 1:36 to go in the game. They trail by 2, have a chance to tie it or go up by 1 here on this offensive possession. And Kugler will take the ball up here for the Indians. Gives it up over to Chapco. There's a three. Nothing but 3 for Chapco. And the Hoosick Valley Indians take the lead for the first time with 1:18 to go in the game on a big 3 by Cassidy Chapco. All right, we're back from the timeout. The Cougars are trailing for the first time. Well, I say for the first time in a long time. The first quarter it was going back and forth. And it is into the hands of Guerin. Guerin over to Brooks. Brooks over to Dominic. Dominic fouled by Chapco. And the thing is, there's only the 5th foul. So you got 2 more to go before you get to one-on-one situations. So the charity stripe may not be an issue, at least on a one-on-one situation. It's Guerin with the ball over to Barcombe. Back over to Guerin. Nice pick by Barcombe. Double team into Barcombe. Barcombe into the paint. She's fouled going up. Doesn't drop. And it's the 2nd foul by Chapco in the last 10 seconds. So now Barcombe will go to the line for 2. And we know how important the charity stripe can be in a game like this.
Yeah, you have to remember back to all the foul shots that Hoosick missed early on.
She misses the first one. Misses the second one. Cougars putting the pressure up. It's a 1-point lead, and it is Chapco with the ball. Nice play by Chapco. Pushes it up over to number 15, Kugler. 12 on the shot clock. And a foul on Brooks.
That's not a good foul.
No, there's 12 on the shot clock.
It's only 5 fouls, and they get a new shot clock with 32 seconds to go. Not a good choice for a foul right there.
And we have 32 seconds left. Hoosick Valley with a 1-point lead and the ball and a 30-second shot clock. And we'll be back. And we're back from the timeout.
I think right now Cougars have little choice but to foul twice quickly now.
Yeah, I would think. Or try to steal it. And there's the quick foul that you said on Barcombe. Well, actually, this is 7 now.
Went from 5 to 7 kind of quickly.
They must have had a mistake down there.
Dave Lambert shouldn't complain. He's just going to have one less foul to give him.
And this is it. There's Leno. That's why she's in there. So Leno will go to the line for 2.
One of the tough things it is for ball players to remember is it's just as important to box out as it is to rebound. You can keep that better rebounder from getting the rebound. You're giving your team a chance to get it. But if you go up for it and you get somebody who's a better rebounder than you right next to you, you can be in trouble.
And 2 2 clutch foul shots. She missed them earlier in the game, but she didn't miss them there. And it's now a 3-point game. So the question is, Calvin, do you go down low for 2 or do you try to get a 3 to tie it?
I think with 27.7 on the clock, you get whatever good shot you can get off, you get it off. If you score 2 and you still got 15 seconds in the game, then you send them back to the foul line and
see what happens.
And hope for your best. You don't let that clock run down here, hoping to tie it in the last 5 seconds.
So a great second half comeback here by Hoosick Valley Indians. They were down at one point by 9 points, and they fought back and they clawed back. And like we said, going into the fourth quarter, they were hanging around, and they have now taken the lead, 3-point lead, and there were 2 huge foul shots by Jessica Leno, who in the first half was shooting like the Shack, wasn't making her free throws.
I know at one point she was 1 for 4. I don't know if she shot any since then until just now.
She's up to 50%, making those 2, but those were huge foul shots by number 33, Jessica Leno, and you knew she was going in for her rebounding efforts, because she's a tall player, a very solid force underneath, and it paid off there.
And here in the second half, Joey, the Cougars have been outscored 20-10. They came in the half leading by 7. They're trailing by 3.
So Hoosick Valley will put the full court pressure on here. They will give them nothing easy. Guerin with the ball back to Brooks. Over to Guerin. Gets a 3-pointer off. She's short, and a quick foul with 11.8. And if Chapco makes this one, it's a 2-possession game.
It's a big 1-and-1 right here. She can just about ice it if she makes that first shot.
And timeout coached by Dave Lambert with 11.8 seconds to go. And we're back from the timeout. And this, if you're the Cougars, this is not the person you want on the foul line. She's their top goal scorer, top player this year on points. And nothing but net. And the coach is waving everybody off. Misses the second one. And Brooks has to take it up. Doesn't get the shot off. And the Indians will advance with an impressive comeback here in the second half as they beat the Cougars 36-32. There were 2 teams that mirrored each other. The Cougars seemed to be having their way for the first 3 quarters, but at the end it was Hoosick Valley coming on to win this regional championship game. And in Calvin, like you were saying, the Cougars have nothing to be ashamed of. They've had an excellent year to make it to the regional championship game.
Yep, you lost the trip to the Final Four, but every other Class B school would love to have had that opportunity that Northeastern had. The big thing was the Hoosick Valley defense in the second half held the Cougars to just 10, and you can't score 10 and a half and really expect to come out on top.
No, it was a wonderful game for the fans. The fans on both sides were into the game. It made for a nice atmosphere for a regional championship game.
Well, what's nice is that they were cheering for their team, and they weren't here hollering at the other team. They were here cheering for their squad, and I think that's what the sport should be all about.
And both fans were just absolutely wonderful fans here for this game. I know it's heartbreaking for the Cougar faithful. But we got the awards presentation here coming up.
Well, our thanks to Joey Trombley for taking us through the ball game. It's a disappointing loss for the Cougars. I hope Joe Southwick will come up here for the boys game, but I'm 100% positive that he will, even though he's got to be disappointed down there right now. Here are the Cougars, Paige Southwick. Carrie Dominic. Katrina Guerin, her illustrious career has come to an end. A 1,000-plus point scorer. Edie Blair. I'm parked right next to her father outside. Bianca Grimshaw. Justine Rabideau. Chelsea Brooks. Also got her career-ending loss today. Ali Cartier. I believe she's a sophomore. Megan Beaumel, another senior. Jordan Dominic. Her older sister Carrie, of course, is another senior. Kayla Dragoon, she'll be back next year. And Skylar Hebert, like Jordan Dominic, called up from the JVs to help out. And Rachel Barcombe, another senior whose career is over for the Cougars. Well, our congratulations to Northeastern on a stellar season. And Dave Lambert, the coach, will get the certificate. Runner-up in the Capital District Regional. Nothing to sneeze at there. Now here's Hoosick Valley. Because they'll move on, they will not be recognized individually. They are moving on to the Final Four, but they get the hardware that represents their victory. Our congratulations to the Hoosick Valley Indians from Section 2. They defeated Salmon River Shamrocks to get here from Section 10, and today they defeated the Section 7 champion Northeastern Clinton Central School Cougars. That's the way it was. And again, our thanks to Joey Trombley for taking us through the ball game.